I'm Rochelle Riley, Director of Arts and Culture for the City of Detroit. I run the Office of Arts, Culture, and Entrepreneurship. The creative arts and culture industries contribute to the economy in many ways, including 5.2 million jobs in the arts and culture sector in 2022, $1.1 trillion to the U.S. economy in 2022, which was 4.3% of the gross domestic product, and $29.1 billion in tax revenue in 2022. And nonprofit arts and culture organizations generated $101 billion in personal income for residents in 2022. That is America. The fine and performing arts is America. People around the globe want what we have, what we do, and how we perform. It also is Michigan and Detroit, a city whose stars have had an instrumental impact on all genres of music, on a century of theater, trained thousands of dancers, and is now a film capital in America that literally has birthed some of the most important and famous stars, like our own Renée. So, support of the fine and performing arts is not only essential, it is defining. The Office of Arts, Culture, and Entrepreneurship has spent 5 years creating an office in a city that did not have one for nearly 2 decades. Thanks to Mayor Mike Duggan, this office, Detroit ACE, has raised awareness of arts and culture so much so that 6 cities have reached out to Detroit to create new arts and culture missions or to enhance missions that already exist. Our work has included a mural mission that has seen more than 700 murals posted to the city's mural map, connecting our amazing artists to residents, tourists, and the country. And now for 2024 and 2025, Detroit ACE will focus on performing arts. Art, music, theater, dance, and film in a city that is one of the film capitals of the country. To that end, we are proud to support the Detroit Black Film Festival, which is in its 5th year and has cemented itself as one of the finest festivals in the country. I want to thank Marshall and Lazar Favors for their amazing achievement. Now please welcome Marshall Montgomery Favors.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. We're so excited. It's a great time to be in Detroit. Celebrating art, celebrating culture, and we have an amazing lineup for folks. We have 57 films from around the world, and it's a great opportunity for people to come out, experience. We have short and feature-length films, and it's just a great time for us to celebrate art, celebrate, as you say, entrepreneurship as well, culture, and we're looking forward to it. It starts September 25th tonight and runs through the 29th, and we also are going to honor our Detroit filmmakers as well, so it's going to be great.
I'm very excited, and now I'd like to introduce the amazing Christine Samuel, who is the director of, she's the director of 2 films in the festival, Albany Road, and one about my hero, Fannie Lou Hamer. So, Christine
Swanson.
I'm sorry, Christine Swanson. Christine Samuel is one of my mentees. I'm going to let her know that I accidentally raised her today. Christine Swanson.
Detroit's very own.
Yes.
I'm very honored to be in my hometown to screen, I realized, 2 movies. But one movie that stars Renée, Elise Goldsberry, who's on my left, and who also is from Detroit. And we were just talking last night how we essentially grew up like right next to each other, and we had no idea. And then we ended up meeting each other in Hollywood
Many years later.
when Renée starred in my first feature film called All About You. And for the last 25 years, I've been hounding Renée to be the movie star that she is and do more movies. And it just turns out that I was fortunate enough that she starred in my second film with Renée called Albany Road, which will premiere tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at Imagine Theaters.
Fantastic. And now, please hear from the amazing, the talented, the wonderful, the Tony Award-winning Renée Elise Goldsberry.
I'm in the place that I think is the most beautiful place in the whole world. I discovered it when I was in high school at Cranbrook Kingswood. Just the fact that there is no greater place, not only to just be and live, but also to become an artist. I moved here from Houston, Texas, and I didn't realize until this past year that I came here a bit begrudgingly because I had wanted to go to the High School of Performing and Visual Arts in Houston. And my parents, you know, who know all, wise parents, said, no, you need to come to Detroit. You need to come back here. You need to think broader about your life and your career, and this is the place to do it. So I came here. Ronald Goldsberry is my father. He was very invested in this town. He's worked in the auto industry for many, many years. And I didn't realize till just this year that I got something greater because of the arts and the love of the arts and the fostering and support of the arts in this community. And I believe that you don't have to go to a performing arts high school to benefit from the arts that are so alive and rich in this community. So I'm glad to be here. I didn't know that right next to me, Christine Swanson was being nurtured as well. Our movie is called Albany Road. It stars Lynn Whitfield. It stars a very exciting cast. I'll let Christine tell you all about it. But what I love about it is it's a generational story celebrating two women who need each other in ways they discover in the movie. And that also is near and dear to my heart, based upon, I think, a very strong legacy of women artists in this town who the world owes great praise.
Absolutely. And before we begin some questions, we want to introduce the director of the Detroit Film Office, because we make films in Detroit. So Jennifer, would you please just come right up to the table and let people know about you and how we want people to make movies in Detroit.
Thank you. So my name is Jennifer Jordan. I manage the Detroit Film Office here in the city, and trying to get the word out to let all the filmmakers know that are in the city of Detroit, that are in surrounding cities, other states, that this is a great place to come and make films. Our office is full of resources. A lot of people are not aware of our office and the resources that we have. And a lot of people, when they think of permits, they think of a lot of maybe finance that comes with that, red tape, but a lot of people don't know that to get a permit from our office is completely free. And we also are there's no cost. And then we also are a liaison to all the other city entities that people may need to come to make their film what they want it to be. We're a liaison with the Detroit Police, Fire. We have a multitude of resources. So just want to really get the word out there about our office and the many resources we have. And we just want everybody to come and make beautiful films here in our city.
Yay.
Oh, okay, sorry. My name is Jennifer Jordan, and
Contact us in if they're interested.
right. So it's the Detroit Film Office. That's DFO@DetroitMI.gov, and they can go to that website, find out all about our process. My contact information is there. It's an information guide, what you need to know, what you probably know, what you may think you know and don't know. So all of that information is there on our website.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
One of the things that the Detroit Black Film Festival is doing this year is honoring Detroit filmmakers. Not only are they going to have some awards for some, but we have some Detroiters who have made films, and we wanted to mention one of them. Or should we? Should we not just bring out one? You tell me.
Well, we have some filmmakers that there are 8 honorees that have contributed to the independent film industry, not only here in Detroit, but worldwide as well, and we're honoring them. But I just wanted to uplift all of our Detroit filmmakers that are part. There are 11 of them, and so we want you to come out and support all the films, but especially support our own as well.
New generation of film. And now we have just a few minutes to take some questions, but I want to ask the first one because as a former journalist, people expect it. Christine Swanson, could you please tell people about this film and how you managed to get Renee and Lynn Whitfield in a car?
Renee inspired me for this character when we did our first feature film. She was actually in several scenes opposite Debbie Allen. And I just looked at those two and I just thought they were just hilarious in terms of the energy that they had with each other. And I thought that would make a great movie. Like Renee and Debbie in a movie, maybe in a car. So I just kind of parked that idea and then chased it again, maybe 10, 15 years later, the script. kind of manifested. And when we actually went into production, Debbie Allen is one of the busiest directors like in the industry, so couldn't get her for the movie, and somehow we ended up with Lynn Whitfield. And the magic that you feel watching Lynn and Renee just go at it is something, one, I've never seen. I've never seen like two women with that kind of humor and pathos just go at it in a combative way, but also in a loving way. So to be able to put those two in a car together in a movie that speaks to the trajectory of our human experiences first as people, and then coincidentally as Black women, that's the project I'm down for 24/7. So that was, in hindsight, a dream come true. It was fuzzy in the beginning, when it came into fruition. And when you see the end result, it's nothing short of magical. And especially to work with Renee, who again I've been hounding for years, like to do another movie together. And as God would have it, this is the movie that He brought us together to do.
Fantastic, fantastic. Are there other questions? Greg Dunmore from Pulse Beat.
What's up, Greg?
Excuse me, voice. Excuse me, but this is very spiritual for me because we're in a history-making time because of Vice President Kamala Harris. And as I look at you, four magnificent Black women, there's something very spiritual about what you're doing, and in the spirit of the late great Nina Simone and Ruby Dee. Nina Simone said that you cannot separate artistry, the voice that you have that is being celebrated, and activism. So I want each of you to say something about, especially in this time, and we're doing it under the umbrella of the Detroit Black Film Festival, activism and artistry, and distinctly coming from the voices of four magnificent Black women.
Wow.
I'll kick it off. And first of all, it's just so wonderful to have Renee and Christine, because they are accomplished in this industry. When I first started in my film journey, I could count the number of women that I knew who were directors in our city on one hand. And so to see filmmakers now, today, who are in the industry excelling, and having the caliber of film that we have with like Albany Road, come to the festival, having Christine, she not only has a film festival, but she comes back and she's had workshops, she reaches out, and she makes sure that she passes her knowledge and talent on to this generation now, and so hopefully, especially young Black girls will see themselves in a position where they can excel in this industry. And Renee, with all of her accomplishments, and again, to have someone who has excelled, extremely high in this industry and continues to do so is just a great example, especially for our young Black girls who are watching people be great in this own industry.
Well said. So let me just remind people that I'm a writer by trade, warrior by necessity. And after stopping my column after 20 years, that did not stop me from activism. And what I want to do is make sure I understand that Detroit needs to stop looking for the respect it already has. We have turned out some of the best music, some of the best theater, some of the best writers for decades and decades and decades. And this film festival is yet another chance to show off our excellence. So I'm thrilled that I'm in a position to be able to do that. I'm thrilled that we are celebrating 5 years doing that, and that creativity takes courage. So what we're going to do is make sure that people understand that we're not going anywhere. We just get bigger and better and do more, and to literally lift up our excellence at a time when people are trying to hide it. That's a job for me. It's a job for Supergirl. And I'm on it.
I think two things can be true at the same time, and I always feel that in my own career when I look at the career of accomplished women, and when I think about our Vice President, Kamala Harris, and that is what, you know, you can be doing something that feels like a miracle, that feels like we never thought we would get to do this, even though we started so long ago. You can be so ambitious as to stand up and to try to accomplish things that feel larger than you. And it feels like the grace of God has come to make all of the stars align to pull it off. And it feels that way on one hand, and on the other hand, it feels like, well, it's about damn time. You know, and it feels that way, you know, like, yes, you know, hallelujah, and okay, let's just roll up our sleeves and get to work. Because there's been so much work, so much investment, so much development, so much life lived. That's the beauty of being a little older and being able to say, how many years ago did we do our first film together?
Almost 25.
25 years ago, we both just met each other. Neither one of us had done a feature film. She was stupidly brave, or bravely stupid, to decide to cast me. It was her first film, and she tells me that when I walked into the room to audition, before my butt hit the chair, she said, well, I hope she can act, because that's how dumb is that? But that's how brave she is. That's how assured she was of the vision and her calling to do it, her ministry. That's the beauty. That's when you talk about two generations. We were that one generation. Now we're another generation. But in that generation, when we were so young and starting out, we felt like we could do anything, and it was absurd. But we tried and we did. And here we are, how many years later? 30? Is it 30? Almost like 25 years later, we are still here, and we are like, hey, we have another movie, and we love it. And it was just as ambitious. It was even more ambitious. And it's also wonderful, and it's a miracle. And of course we did it, and we'll continue to do it. We will show up, and everyone will be surprised, and they'll also say, "Thank God you came." I mean, I'm trying to make these parallels between what's happening politically. But on one level, you know, we see all around us women, Black women, women of all nationalities, who, in spite of incredible odds, keep showing up with so much determination and so much audacity to try to pull off really big things that are necessary. Somebody's got to do it.
That's right.
And we keep doing that, and we are blessed to be affirmed outside of looking at ourselves in the mirror. Everywhere I look, I've seen this my entire life, and I'm glad the world is looking to us still to try to pull off the impossible.
Amen.
So when I look at a person like Kamala Harris and this whole idea of like Black women just always having to do things on a high level every day, 24/7, I kind of look at it like it's just a Tuesday. So it's just how I think I have been wired. A lot of it has to do with growing up literally in the streets of Detroit. And as I think about what it was like on 8 Mile in Wyoming, and then to have traveled all over the world, and then landed in an industry in Hollywood, doing exactly what I wanted to do, is nothing short of divine providence. And then running into a person like Renée, which I was reflecting on, like, Renée happens to be in my movie, but she happens to be a friend in my life. And one of the things that I was exposed to because of Renée is her father is like a legend in Detroit. I grew up my whole life, I did not know that, because that was another side of Detroit that coexisted with 8 Mile and Wyoming. And for those two things to coexist and somehow come together, it is God's like, let me show you what I can do. And let me show you I was there all along. And let me show you that I purposely put you in this city that has so much grace and grit, and that endowed me with my faith in God, that allowed me to do a story about some Black chicks from Detroit called the Clark Sisters.
Yes.
And then add another element of us in the stratosphere of storytelling, and then we keep doing it over and over again, and I think better and better. I'm proud to represent humble beginnings, and I just don't know if I'll ever make it to the side that I think I'm in it, but I resist it. My kids are in it. My kids are living the life, right? But we're able to do that because of where I started from. And I just think we cannot neglect the obvious, and that is everything I am, everything God wanted me to do and be. He purposely made Detroit a part of the path, of the trajectory of that storytelling. So the fact that I'm a Black woman at this time is exciting. It's exciting. The fact that we get to tell stories about us, it's exciting. The fact that we get to have fun doing it, exciting. So we want to do more of this. Renée, just as we walked in, Renée said, we need to do a movie in Detroit.
Yes.
And I was like, yes, we do. So we're gonna.
And she said, she's leaving out, I already have one, you're not in it. But I'll
Well,
maybe I'll make you a teacher.
well,
I already have one.
well, I have one in the spirit of BMF, and I'm like, oh, I know what you could be. So I'm already writing Renée into the story. But one of the things that we were able to do when we did Albany Road was we had 10 interns on set.
Yes.
So we taught the trade in real time. And they had access. I know they were asking actors questions like, why did you make that acting choice? Which is like a no-no on a regular Hollywood set. But we left it open to students to learn the craft from professionals in real time without the hazing experience that a lot of young people have to go through to climb up in this industry. And I know that we can replicate that by doing a movie here in Detroit, bringing on interns, teaching them in real time. What y'all gotta do is just go find me some money. Like I do this in my sleep. We can do this. Give us the budget. We'll create the story on a high level, and we'll teach the next generation while we're here. Along with my producer husband, Michael Swanson, who is a studio executive, we have a wealth of information and knowledge and resources that we need to get back to. We try to do it in a little way, but we can do it in a bigger way. And look, it's just another Tuesday for us.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, we are committed. I'm going to tell you right now, I am committed to help making that happen. I'm so thrilled that you said that. I'm so thrilled at what you're doing. Thank you all for being here today. And we want to tell them once again that Albany Road
is screening tomorrow night, Thursday, September 26th at the Imagine Theater in Royal Oak. And also, so the tickets are on Eventbrite, and just we have 5 locations, so please check the locations for everything that's going on with the festival. So the Detroit Black Film Festival, Taste of Black Spirits conference event goes on from September 25th through the 29th. All of the information is on Eventbrite, and we look forward to seeing you at the festival.
And a special thanks to Lazar and Rochelle for. Can we screen the movie in Royal Oak? And she's like, it is the Detroit Black Film Festival. and I explained, like, I went to school at Shrine, grade school and high school, and I said, you know what? That's part of my community too. So if you can make that happen, I think it will work for both of us. And they made it happen, and I have such gratitude for you guys to screen slightly outside of Detroit for my movie. So thank you.
But the other screenings
That's
are
right,
in
Detroit.
Detroit.
Oh,
So we're all over the place, yeah.
Are in Detroit, and an honesty moment here, it will probably be the only time it ever happened.
Thank you again. Both you guys are awesome.
So thank you, and shout out again to Miles, who was our favors,
Yes.
who is the co-director. And for Albert Ragsdale, for the Car Center, giving us a home, absolutely. Always here as well. So thank you, Rochelle Riley, and to the City of Detroit, from the Mayor's Office, and from as the Director of Arts and Culture. We greatly appreciate work for all these years.
And if you want to know what's going on with the Office of Arts, Culture, and Entrepreneurship, where art is business, just go to DetroitArtsandCulture.com. Thank you.
Thank you.